We're breaking off day 2. Fedor versus Tony Chohan. If you're curious about the music in the background, it's just while we're live on Facebook here. Make sure they don't shut us off prematurely. We're going to be live on Facebook for the first couple racks here. Get a preview. Make sure you get your pass at gorstchohan.com. That any stream pass also gets you into a raffle. We've got a lot of great Q-Tech products. SVB Red Edition, Ghost Q. We're going to sign Tony. I'm not going to sign. I don't think you want that. But Tony and Fedor are going to sign this cue ball that they're playing with. That's going to go to first place as well. A bunch of other memorabilia. So get your stream passes at gorstchohan.com. Chance to win there and enjoy the next 2 days of action. So. Jeremy, I just realized I haven't sent over the video feed to you, so I'll do that now. My apologies.
No worries. We've started.
Yeah, so. We just broke off. First game here. So, this is Tony's, the result of Tony's first shot after the break. Fedor wasn't able to really do much other than feather down to the bottom rail, and Tony was able to get him back up to the stack. So that's where we pick up at here.
Yeah, I wonder if he can see the 15. And only reason being, it looks like the 6 is super tight going by the 13 if it does go at all. And this is a tight box we're playing on here. So he could come across the 15, let the 15 roam out in the middle of the table and go up to that end rail. You know, I'm going to let him shoot at the 6. Now, if the 4 is a worry, I think that's the 4 ball that's near the 13.
Yes.
That's a different story. But this, to me, seems more dangerous than letting Tony shoot at the 6 from the end rail. If he catches the 13 here, did he sell out the 1? So he definitely sold out the bottom of the 1, and I think he sold out a shot. Couldn't tell you for sure, but
yeah. Early opportunity for Tony to continue his run from yesterday here.
Really, you know, 2 or 3 or 4, right? We'll see what kind of angle he gets here. He may have to really put a big stroke. And I wonder if he got any tip work done after yesterday, Kyle.
You know, I was curious about that too, because he was in the shop that's here at Rail Yard called Railbirds. He was in there with shop runner Louis DeMarco. I'm not sure if he actually ended up doing anything or not.
Got to be careful here. That 10 ball or 12 ball, is it, that's connected to the 2. If he hits the 14, it's going to move a lot. I like this. Anywhere on the top of the 8, you're golden. Fairly golden. So it really could have been a lot worse for Fedor right there. It looked like 5 were very doable for Tony. Almost a little deja vu-ish of yesterday that we talked about, or I brought up that many matches I saw him not running as many balls, I think cost him several games in big matches and maybe big matches itself. But
yeah.
But he got better as the day went. It's almost like him playing a better defensive game helped his offensive game, it seemed like.
Yeah, definitely a much more patient game, I would say, overall than I'm used to seeing.
Yeah. And that's where, you know, if you understand it, the better players, you'll play your opponent a little bit, but you also have to play the layout and the score more individually each game. And if you can play all sides of the game, that's easier to do. Funny little situation here. He wants to be productive, but is anything really there? So he can come off the left side of the 6, dropping below the 8. Not too tough. Okay, I was wondering if he might do something off the 15 into the 6, bring the cue ball up the side rail. Yeah, like that. That's the shot I initially saw, and I love it. You know, you're moving some balls, but at least you're playing the cue ball. So I think very good there from Fedor. Now Tony's got to be very cautious. It sounds crazy, but if it's not really a scratch kind of shot, I don't think it's the most terrible thing right here to come off the 8 and try and just come underneath the 6 and bump it a little bit. The reason why is you're going to put the 8 on your side, so you're getting one ball out of danger. You may leave a cross corner on the 7, but it doesn't seem so penal like something, if you err this way, could be. Hit it pretty well. He's going to love the cue ball. Not bad. But you could see there was a lot of danger there. A lot of scratching.
Yeah. Yeah, it did good to keep Fedor off of any of the cross banks. He did shoot that shot, if you remember yesterday, Jeremy, and actually scratched off the back of the ball, which was really uncharacteristic for Tony. He always hits those balls so well. Maybe just an indicator of being a little bit more dialed in today.
With those, you know, rail first shots, Tony's up there with the best that's ever played the game, in my opinion. Yeah. And not the obvious ones, you know, those we all learned, but just seeing them, first off, kind of knowing them.
Yeah,
it's almost completely. Like he studied it, you know, studied it at one time. So Efren being the best rail first player probably ever. Yeah. Speed's important. The 6 isn't going to stay by the pocket. That was important that the 6 stayed near the hole.
To expand on that, I think the other thing Tony does better than just about anyone is playing carom shots. He and like you said, kind of not the so obvious ones. He seems to see those extremely well.
He's hit the 2-railer really well, and it's almost like was said earlier, just the kind of the overall patience you used it, that word kind of helps the stroke be better as well, in my opinion, when you're kind of calm, right?
Sure.
And not so much worry, and try not to pick out shots that are so stressful overall. So this is going to end up a little light with the 6 ball, so Fedor's going to have something. We've always labeled Tony as a cool customer. Okay, this is a big bank. If he can stiff this in, and the 8 really might produce a breakout shot. I don't mind the way he played it just because he was trying to get a big reward. Little touchy here. I might keep it simple, just getting the 8 across and the cue ball up on the side rail by the side pocket, maybe. All right, he got it to turn quite a bit. Pretty good. This is a little sticky here. He's going to have to move the 6 lightly and just let I think anyways. Can we get the head-on view there, Kyle?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to have to shoot the 6 and just kind of float up towards the 7. You know, maybe he sticks, but if he tries to do a ton else, this could get away from him. You know, you might give up a little play on the 6, but it's not the biggest of worries. Yeah, with the high ball trying to hit it harder, it hooked on him. You got to kind of crawl up into the stack and just say, I'm not going to get the 6 on my side, but I'm definitely taking care of the cue ball. Now, I would draw back. If I'm comfortable with the shot, I'd draw back and split the 2-9 because you can push those balls open. If you hit the 9 first or the 2 first. Oh, he could try to get behind it. I guess the 9 goes. Seven's been there for a minute, but it looked like it was going to hit the low rail. What it appeared. Yeah, what do? You're 5 to -1. Do you long rail kick the 9 in, knowing that there's still 8 balls right there around the spot that you can certainly get back in the game with? If you feel good about the 7, you want to bank to 6 and go 3 rails for position. Nice, hit it thick. And yesterday, I think maybe at times the table got a little grippy, but you could see the timing on his banks weren't quite on like we're used to seeing. I'm not sure what Tony's looking at here. See, I would like to get over and make a decision on the 6, or maybe go into the 10 and hold the cue ball behind the 2, something like that. I want to go ahead and make this 9 right here and start to get in position to move some balls up the table. So just rail first, lightly. Ooh, too light, but or if you're comfortable to draw the ball over. Looks okay to play off of the 7 drawing the ball. Looks like the 2 will cross. Maybe it catches a little bit of the 10. Not bad.
One of the, not sure if you were able to catch the post-game interviews last night, Jeremy, but one of the things Fedor called out that he knows he needs to do better, recognizing how tough the table's playing right now. And kind of the more aggressive nature is just not going to work. Said part of his strategy today is going to be a little bit more patience and, trying to play a little bit tighter. Curious to kind of see how that plays out today.
Yeah, and maybe, him not having as much experience, because sometimes you can play to where you challenge Tony a little more, putting pressure on him that way from the top rail, right?
Sure.
Getting balls in play. Of course, you got to do it in a good manner, but a tight table opens up that possibility as well. But like I said, using the end rail just a bit more. But the funny thing is, it's that what he's talking about is kind of how Tony's won a lot, right? Picking up 2, 3. Come into the stack here. The cue ball just slowly. I can. I'm not sure if he's trying to size up the natural bank or the 6 back into the pack. Now, the good thing is he's close enough he can create the angle to move the cue ball up the side rail, which is very important. Now, didn't get the contact he wanted, but
lost this one a little bit.
Yeah, Tony's going to be able to chip that over if he wants. He may just play it up the rail, because when you chip it over in this situation, a lot of times you leave the rail first cross bank, right? The bank and cross it towards your hole. He's going to try and make it.
Oh, wow, what a shot.
Nice shot. And the stack really agreed with that shot, right? There's nothing really for Fedor to play out of the stack, it appeared. Just crossing this over, trying to hide it.
Take a quick look at
your hole. He's going to try and make it.
Oh, wow, what a shot.
Nice shot. And the is involved. So this is where normally if I'm down a deficit here, I want to kick softly into the 14 and intentionally take the foul. Just wiggle a couple open. Nothing major. That way I can keep the cue ball in check. and then just kind of start to get a little, a few balls open to where Tony can leave me at least some type of options. You can thin it. The thing is, you're not really opening much on your side. So, where I think just because the deficit is so great anyways, now Tony's free on the A7, where if you had kicked and left him and say you pop open the 5 a little bit, you pop open another ball, maybe it's not so free. Or they shooting the 11. That's too much. Surprising he played the 11 instead of the 7.
Yeah, maybe just liked his cue ball on the stack there. Of course, if he doesn't clip the 7 ball with the 11, been in a much better position.
Yeah, and sometimes you just like it, right? The way it lays.
Yeah, natural path
And
for your eye.
Yeah, and it was just closer to it, right? So accuracy's a little more at a premium. So if he's trying to run this with high outside, like kind of where he's standing with the cue ball, this is where it usually wants to over twist on you a lot. And that's the other thing. You're hitting so high on the cue ball, you don't put enough energy into the object ball where it doesn't get across. So I'd be surprised if Tony really kind of plays this towards this hole any kind of way. It's a little dangerous here with such a big lead. He's going to kick it. Oh, man, he's feeling good.
Yeah, great cue ball, great shot.
One of those real first shots. Oh, man, he's feeling good.
Yeah, great cue ball, great shot. The stack.
Yeah, when it's sitting nice, and that's the key to picking them out, right? Oh, it sits real nice. You can hit it many different ways when you come across it like that, and the cue ball's still going to track towards the stack. You don't have to hit it perfect.
Right.
So just kind of prolonging things here. If he feels like he can get the 11 out, he's got to come to the bottom rail. Otherwise, Tony will just chip a ball and a shot or two if he takes a foul and make him try to get the 11 out anyway. So let's see. I might take a chance now and kicking across, trying to get the 11 out. I don't know. This is tough. You're not going to get it out kicking off the top rail, right?
Yeah, no
Or
way.
is he looking to kick behind the 7 maybe? Try and cut him off there. So this is the only shot he has.
Yeah.
And then Tony, yeah. But the thing is, Tony's just going to graze the ball, right? I mean, why would you ever take a foul here, Tony? Just graze something and go over to the rail. I would never shoot towards the stack here. Nip draw off the 11, off the 10, I mean. This is okay.
So I say he may be kicking to make this ball.
Well, he knows it can't go too wrong. Well, at least we get to see Fedor try to pocket the 7. Might have to 2-rail this.
You see something at the stack, maybe?
Is the 2 ball going to throw that much?
Looks
Boy,
like
you have to hit it awfully slow.
Yeah.
Unless there's something else he sees. The only thing I see possible there is the
Quick look
2
at the
ball.
overhead. I mean, it is froze to the 3, but
Well, the thing is, the 14 helps it. Actually, more weight makes it throw more, right? But you'd have to hit it really slow. Just kind of, yeah. It did throw pretty decently, though.
yeah.
But I think he overhit it to get that much out of it. Now Tony with another win.
It's going to be 8-2. Tony extending his lead by 6. Picking up right where he left off yesterday. Our score went from 1-0 to 1-1, and then the next game Fedor won was at 6-1. He brought it 6-2, and then Tony closed the day out at 7-2. So definitely been the Chohan show here so far.
Impressive side of things is really looking at it with a couple thoughts. Is a lot of the score lines we did have one or two go. One we had down to the case ball, which was game 2, I believe, maybe game 3. But not a whole lot of close score lines overall from game to game. And the other thing is Tony hasn't really just been running 8 and out every game. He's been doing it a lot of ways, which is pretty impressive. Is he going 3 rails off this ball here? He's got a lot of cover to do so, and he can get the 6 across. Yeah, just the speed, just really nice. Because he knows he's got a lot, you know, the 4 ball, the 7, everything's getting covered up, and he got that 15 open. Cleared his side of the table, that being Fedor, the 1 ball he had on his side rail. So like right here, for instance, he could twist bank the 12, bank it between the 7-3, let it bank towards the 7 or the 11, and swing the cue ball with low right 2 rails to the upper right corner. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but it's very easy to do, right? And that's the kind of aggressive I was talking about, besides maybe shooting at your hole and letting Tony see if Tony wants to come from the end rail. Because I think Tony's going to be better around the stack than Fedor as far as the moving. Is this a kick bank here, Kyle, on the 10?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell how high he is where that 12 ball may come into play.
Well, the 10's pretty high, though.
Yeah.
So with the stack the way it is, you can't be afraid to go up table, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like what I'm saying is you have to play it. I don't care if it's Fedor or not. You know, you got to go up table there.
Sure. Less concerned about the path of the 10 ball as you are the cue, I guess.
Yeah, and the stack is saying, okay, that is the shot because everything's jumbled up. Fedor can make it, you know, if he lays the cue ball down right there, right on the end rail, this is a tough spot.
Sure.
I wonder if he recognizes he can play the 15 into the 11 and get by the 3 and back up table with the cue ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cut the 15 and go in between the 3 in the pocket to the bottom rail, maybe a hair right English to straighten the cue ball out and send some balls towards this hole.
Really does look to lay really well for that.
Yeah, and you can be pretty aggressive. Even if something leaks out a little bit, I don't think Tony's going to take a big cut shot to his pocket, right? So I think he's going to shoot that. He's going to kill it, try to kill it. This is much more difficult. Yeah. Yeah. That's that funny in-between stroke to where I don't want to overdraw and get by the 3. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
So you let up a little bit. So I would say he probably didn't see the shot we were talking about.
Yeah, that or just, you know, Fedor's used to being able to judge those balls so well. But again, we're on such a, as you described it, a grabby table, right? It's hard to judge that spin sometimes with that. Maybe just a slight miscalculation on his end.
It's almost like when you know, different ways to aim. We talk about like a Mosconi Cup table. Everything draws a little easier, cuts a little easier, so we aim a hair thicker at balls, you know, where I think I consciously or subconsciously I aim a little thinner when the felt's older.
Sure.
Ooh, a big miss there.
Yeah. Opportunity slipped by, and this is one thing Tony mentioned in his interview yesterday was kind of missing some of the balls that he really shouldn't have that are kind of could be game changers, but Fedor wasn't able to capitalize yesterday. But not something you want to keep testing a player like Fedor Gorst with, for sure.
On Tony's part of that, I think most of those very unexpected misses were early in day 1 for the most part.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if he can get at the 11 or if he's just checking the 13. Must be really tight. Oh no, he's got plenty of pocket, it looks like. That's a great view. Say plenty. I mean, it's a tight table. So
Yeah, sure.
there can't be plenty there. A lot of times you don't want to hit this lightly when you're to a portion of the pocket. So we'll see. Really nice.
Yeah, he even went into the thick side of the pocket there. Just a little bit of a deceiving view. But this is a great opportunity for Fedor. He really needs to capitalize on opportunities like this early.
Well, he could fall for a combination next, but the 1 will go after the 8's gone, and I believe the 14 will go after the 11's gone. So I think I hold my ball and maybe work the cue ball up the table and back down for the 1 to get behind more balls. Oh, he's going to try and draw behind. Oh, I see. He wanted to come 2 rails without going all the way to the top rail. So that's good. I didn't really realize that was available. We'll update the score, excuse me, y'all. Maybe a little thinner than he really wanted, but really trying to be detailed or specific with the cue ball. Easy to take your eye off the ball, so even for the top 3 or 5 player in the world. So surprising he went forward, right?
Yeah, I guess just thought he could slow roll that enough, and or maybe thought he could catch the 7. I'm not sure, but
I think it was solely about trying to get more balls, right? I thought he might stick with the angle and kind of stun 2 rails and evaluate from there on the 14 if he wanted to shoot or take on just making the 5, right? But
yeah, I like that play.
Because if he holds the ball right there on the 10 instead of going forward, he's got the underneath angle. He could probably stun 2 rails near the right side pocket, something like that. And now everything's a little tricky.
Yeah, he's really kind of put himself in a tough position. The 12 ball has the cross corner kick cut off. I don't believe he can go rail first under the 10. He's having a look at that now. It might be available.
I think he can do that, even if you have to play the double kiss a little bit. Maybe. Ooh, man, I don't know. So this one here, don't baby it. You'd rather give up the 6. Oh, he's going upstairs. So it was worse than we thought, and he made a very nice shot there and a good decision. He's not taking much time here. You got to just chop on the 12, I think. You could play off the 15, but you got to hit this one a little thicker, and I'm wondering how much movement he's going to get because you want to be up table with the cue ball in this position. Yeah, I think Tony actually is figuring things out better than I am. Watching that last shot, and the reason why I say that is he realizes he's winning with a little moving, and so even if the balls didn't totally agree on that shot, a lot of times against most one pocket players, you want to run the ball up the table, right? But maybe he's feeling like until Fedor shows me otherwise, I'm going to keep it super simple because it's winning anyways, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And maybe he's recognizing at times Fedor's being a little too aggressive, like Fedor had commented. So who knows? He's trying to stiff this in. Well, he's definitely lost the timing on a stroke because a lot of them are a little let up. That's why he's not getting the ball across. That's why the draw came off the ball on that shot earlier.
Tony's going to have a free bank at this 6 ball, right? To drag across the table.
There's tons of options. I play the 8 probably. I don't know. The 6 looks so good. There really is, he needs to have good control because he may give up a little something banking the 15 here. That looks like pretty good control.
Yeah. That will get it done.
But that's the thing. When you don't get a ball across, there's like tons of options. He could have banked the 8 back into the 12-7 and stunned up to the end rail using the 6 as cover. He could have done a number of things.
Sure.
Now everything's a little tight, though. I don't think, does anything go? He's certainly not going to draw the ball in this combination, is he? Ooh, this is a mistake. He may make it, but this is not the right shot, in my opinion. Hitting the ball hard is the only way. That almost goes against what I just said, Kyle,
Yeah.
where Tony's like winning simply, and then he took on a tough shot.
Yeah, and just we've talked about it 100 times, but the way that this table's playing, shots like that aren't going to give you any kind of slide where the ball may catch some points and stick around the corner. As you can see, he missed that ball and completely cleared away from the pocket. So you really got to be 100% certain of where that object ball is going, especially on something like a combo.
You lose my mind as far as, if he had to just stop his ball, he could hit it that light, jacking up, that's fine. Because he can keep control of those object balls somewhat, and he's not just, kind of like moving a bunch of balls when he hits it poorly. But there to have to draw the ball, that's asking a ton. I was going to get jacked up here. A little bit beside the ball. And sometimes that's kind of awkward. I think he's okay here. He can almost get to the center of the cue ball if it looks like anyways.
Yeah, I think he's got enough available.
Oh, yeah, he can even hit a little left English. Uh-oh, nothing goes from here.
I think the 8 does pass.
The 8 does, okay. Excuse us, or excuse me on the score there, ladies and gentlemen. Get to talking.
Yeah, easy to forget. That's some good pool we have the privilege of watching here. So Fedor Gorst, 1-1 on the day, gets his lead back to where we started at down 5. He's really going to need to steal some of Tony's breaks here. We'd like to get, I would say, game plan. If I'm in Fedor's camp, if we can get within 2 or 3 games at the end of the day, you feel like you've got a really good chance going into tomorrow.
Yeah, you've done a lot of work coming from 2. If Tony gets to 14, you get to 11 or 12. You've done a great job. But
yeah,
speaking of his break, that's the first break that Fedor has won. First game he's won when breaking the balls in this match.
Yeah.
Yesterday, both games he won was on Tony's break. What's the odds on that? Pretty slim.
Yeah. That would have been a DraftKings prop bet that would have made you some money for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see if Tony can leave that, what I would call mental error. I know he missed the combo, so a lot would say, well, if he just makes it, well, it was a missable shot. See if he can leave that mental error behind, or just recognize what happened and then leave it behind. Isn't the greatest of breaks, but everything's a little awkward. Can't quite shoot the 15-7, getting into the stack effectively with the cue ball. You can't shoot the 15-7 and really go 3 rails behind the 11-1. That doesn't look that great. So he's just going to shave the 3 a little bit. Problem, he's taking the 3 a little more out of play to his hole. So I may have looked elsewhere, just kind of knowing the 3 is a little more threatening, but at the same time, it does bank to Tony's hole as well. So not a bad shot. Probably go rail first here and just graze across this ball. Go all the way over to the head string. He's going to play it more aggression. Pretty decent, but you can see now a very open look towards Tony's pocket, which is exactly what you want if you're Fedor. We're looking at the 9-4, so you wouldn't think he's weighing on making it, but maybe slow rolling it or something like that, keeping him in the stack, trying to play the 4 towards his pocket. I like just clearing the 11 myself some kind of way. You know, this is what you're looking for as a trying to, overcome someone's break, is be able to clear their side as quick as possible. Did a decent job there. I don't think he wanted to hit that ball on the bottom rail. Those 2 balls, the 11 and 1, that exposed the cue ball. Got to go with a high ball here, I think, getting the cue ball into the stack. There. Good shot. Definitely something there on the 15-7 now. Banking the 7 towards his pocket, put the cue ball into the pile. Now here you just kind of feel the speed as best you can. Of course, the line is not obvious, but you're going to always try and pick a good line. So remind yourself of the speed, what you feel the speed is. Yeah. Not going to be so happy with that one. Which, if you avoid the scratch, is usually not the worst thing. Really want to just come across this and then leave Tony where he can bank the 3 back into the pile, maybe get upstairs. It's not the biggest threatening shot, but doesn't want to leave those options. Tony's got a really nice cue ball here, so hard to really put a ton of side spin on the ball. Maybe he's just shooting through it with a little high right coming up the table. He's trying to go into the stack. Pretty nice shot there. That was pretty intentional as well. Did have to add a little right spin to create that angle. How well was that struck? Looks like he's going to attack with a 3-railer, elevating the cue, and this is difficult. Speed's off. You could leave a bank on the 15. Certainly lose the cue ball, but pretty nice effort. Really nice effort. Not sure what Tony has on the 8, if he's too close to the 10 or not. Tony's standing in tells you the 8's not really playable. He's got to be careful if he's kicking between the 8 and 3. And I didn't understand that. Only thing I could suggest there is he was trying to go around the 8. So big moment in this match, I think. Fedor trying to get on the board, he did that. Now he's got a chance at a pretty nice bank shot to get, 4, it looks like, at least, maybe. To get on the board again and not only win 2 in a row, be breaking in the next to try and win 3 in a row. So you're going to cut the 3, mildly going into the 4 or the 5. You don't want to do it real hard, just shake them open a little bit. That way your line on the cue ball coming off the 3 is pretty accurate going into the side of those balls. Now the only reason I might do that here versus later, all right, looks like he's avoiding the stack to me, maybe not, is I don't really, you can shoot the 7 to come across, or excuse me, the 15 to come across into the pile. I feel like that's a little more risky on missing the ball first off, and really going to get you over balls trying to cut the 7, so we'll see. So he's avoiding the stack altogether, it looks like. I really would have considered the 3 ball there to just come up. I'm a big believer in getting the run started before opening the balls, but there wasn't a ton of options. Certainly don't want to go into the stack here unless you're feeling really good about it, because you will be pushing balls towards Tony's side, and I guess he could come into the 9 and get a shot for sure, or not for sure, but good chance. Al said to us earlier that, you know, Fedor's used to making those shots, and you know, I don't want to say rely on it. It's just kind of fact that he makes them. So it didn't. I don't. I wouldn't have shot it, or as far as the plan to go into the stack from there, that's me. And it's not so much I plan on missing. I just think there is a lot of risk. You could get stuck on the stack. He had a chance to scratch cross side shooting it the way he did. You saw the cue ball come close to that happening. So I don't mind shooting the 15, but I just didn't think going into the pile was the greatest of ideas. Speed's perfect. Nice shot there from Fedor. Make sure you're not leaving an easy kick shot of some sort here, so he won't move it much as far as the stack itself. Like Kyle's back with us.
Yeah, back in the booth. Take care of a couple things.
Yeah, I think the 5's okay to stick on here. Yeah, I was kind of wondering that when Fedor brought the cue ball down to the bottom rail. It looked like it was going to be a pretty easy play. And you wouldn't say it's devastating, but it's not bad.
Kind of curious, Jeremy. When I was walking through, saw that Fedor had a chance to run some balls, and it looked like maybe an angle to even open up the stack. But based on how the balls lay, did he just elect against it, or kind of get a funny roll, or what happened there?
Well, the first shot on the 3, he contemplated going in the stack. He decided not to. I'm not a first shot kind of guy going to the stack, but I think it laid well to do so there. So he came around for some options. He ran another couple balls, and he got on the 15 last. And he went into the stack from a very thin angle and the wrong side of the stack.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was cutting the ball off his side rail going into the side of the stack somewhat. Right. That pushed balls a little bit towards Tony. And he was trying to hit it so nice on top of the stack, you know, so he didn't like get stuck or something like that.
Right.
And he overcut the ball just a touch.
Gotcha.
So Tony got on the board, and you can see a little advantage for Tony at the moment. Oh, is he 2-railing this, drawing 1 rail to the stack? No, he's just killing it. Okay. Good shot. You may see the 3-railer from Tony here. And the main thing is, of course, the 10 is a little concerned. But even if Fedor wants to shoot it, where's the shape? So
something we saw all day yesterday. The ball really just does not like to open up off that 3rd rail. So you kind of got where the 10 laid. It was going to be difficult to get that ball to the pocket as deep as you have to hit on that 3rd rail.
And the funny thing is, it's opposite, right? On newer felt, it opens up easy with the softer speed. Right. Where it's quite the opposite when the felt's older. You have to hit the ball a little harder for the object ball to keep its spin a little bit as it gathers towards those second and third rails, right? So
Yeah, very good call out there.
it's a touchy thing.
You know, we were talking a little bit about golf at the beginning of the stream, and it's kind of funny how many similarities there are in the game. And I try to explain to people, of course, people who play pool, it makes a little more sense, but the guys I play golf with that don't know anything about pool, and I try to explain the difference in conditions and weather and how much all these things affect the pool table, just like it does if you're out on a golf course. And it really is.
Yeah.
It really is pretty wild.
It's the roof over your head, right?
Absolutely.
As the day changes outside, the pool table changes, just like the golf course does. As the day goes on, the course changes.
Very
I was
true.
just commenting to a friend of mine that I looked at a couple scores from the tournament going on that I was saying the wind must be blowing because there were a lot of early good scores, but not too many late good scores. And this 5-ball's close. This kick shot's close. I don't think Tony wants to go down like that after what happened in the last game with that combination shot. That are very good at edging the ball. One of the best.
Yeah, and his speed control, we saw that a couple different times yesterday. Getting that cue ball right up against the rail. Just a little bit short of pace there, but overall still really good.
Tony's not in a great spot here, but if he can move the 15 on his side and hide him, that's what I would look to do, hide the 15 here. Is he shooting a combination?
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of open banks right here. Speed better be pretty good, and he got a little fortunate on it. The 11 got involved, and the 4 got right in the way of the bank on the 5s. I don't know. There's a lot of open alleys there for me to be shooting that, maybe, Kyle.
Yeah, it was definitely not anything I was looking at.
You have to stack solid. I love it, right? I love the shot if the stack solid, and Tony did real well with the cue ball speed, so it's almost like some things I talk about Tony on certain bank shots that other people don't shoot that he does, and it almost makes sense for him to do it because he shows you how good he is with the speed on the object ball. So even though it's a hairy bank or maybe a lower percentage when you're putting the object ball over the hole, that makes it worth shooting it a lot of times. You know, if you let that object ball come up on the side rail or it gets over to the bottom rail, you give up a lot of free shots a lot of times. And Tony just always seems to have the speed right. Yeah, just got to take your medicine here, it looks like. Just soft kick the 4. What's he doing here? Okay, soft kicking the 4. That's the right shot. I mean, Tony may show you something, who knows. Since the 4's on the rail, he may show you the 6 off the 9 back of the pocket. If he banks at the 5, I don't think it's free. Or let's say he made it free in that manner, but that wasn't any way to get position or anything that was very threatening. So I think we're in a position to have one of our longest games. Tony ties the score right here, 3 balls apiece. Tony really liked the looks of the 11 ball, I think, off the 14. Is the 6 going to move off the 9 for the draw for the cut shot for Fedor? No, not enough. Good thing nothing went in another pocket. Tell you what, if he likes this bank right here, I don't know. The way the balls lay, I may just bypass the 4 and try and get shape. I know it's a tight table and all, but yeah, why not? Try and get some position.
Thought the 10 ball was going to do him wrong there. Scratching the side, he still made this very funny, jacked up over it.
Yeah, pretty unlucky, really. This may be close to a scratch. The 6 ball. I don't think that banks. He may be able to hit it super slow or stiff it in, jacking up the cue, but I don't think the 4 ball is a really nice ball to bank at. 6 looks like you could easily scratch in the lower left-hand corner. Ooh, is he trying to draw this? Oh, he hit it nice. He overcut it, just kind of thinking about that scratch in that corner. God, it's going to have a 2-ball lead, though.
Yeah, really not a bad way to play it. Just make sure you get the ball in the hole. Either way, whether it's you or Tony making the ball. Of course, you'd rather be able to have your opportunity to do something else if it does go, but the way everything sits right now, not a whole lot of offensive opportunities anyway.
And I think he played it exactly how he should have, you know, knowing the speed's going to be all right. It's going to catch some of the pocket. I just can't take a chance at scratching there. I don't mind Tony making that ball for me. And got these a little awkward. So maybe, I was going to say, he may elevate the cue here. Try to hit it lightly.
Watch out 15. I think it's going to slow up enough.
Yeah, and it covered up the 14. Boy, that's a bonus. You see Tony get a little aggressive with the 14 here, trying to get some kind of double up situation. I'm not sure what that might be. I like this right here. I like him trying to get into where he can reposition some balls.
If you're enjoying the elevator background music, that is to help us since we're live on Facebook. The jukebox here every now and then, you'll get some rights claims that takes down your video. So as soon as we cut off of Facebook, we'll cut that back down. And then right after this rack, we're going to switch off of Facebook. So if you're tuning in there, appreciate you hanging out with us. Enjoying this free preview of day 2. Make sure you get your pass at gorstchohan.com. Continue watching all weekend long. You have free access to replay any day forever, including yesterday if you buy the stream today. So make sure you do that. You'll also have a chance to win some great prizes from Q-Tech and match memorabilia, including the cue ball that you're seeing played with right now, signed by both players. So gorstchohan.com. Right after this rack, we'll be cutting off of the Facebook Live. Lost his cue ball there, huh?
Yeah, but that's what I talked about earlier, and I was almost going to bring it up before he pulled the trigger. That's a let up in the swing when you don't carry the draw all the way to the ball. So normally that happens with the better players from getting a little quick coming back with the backswing is really the only way they usually let up unless nerves are super high, which I don't feel that from Fedor.
I think we're having a little bit of a discussion right now on the rule as far as whether the ball's in the kitchen or not. Thought we had discussed all this before the match, but maybe a question on the official ruling.
It's almost always anything touching.
Yeah, I think that's what they've agreed on, but maybe just a quick clarification.
Yeah, the base of the ball is a hard one to make on it thick. Lodged one there, and's going to be able to score. I don't think he can really get shape unless he wanted to draw the ball back underneath him and out.
Yeah, but definitely a big let up from Tony there. You got to look at the difference of potential score, right? He was definitely going to get 2. That ball goes down, playing the 6 on the spot, taking a 5-4 lead instead of being down 5-3.
Super aggressive behind it as well. Frustration there maybe, and that's where, like that shot with the ball in hand, right? That's where you almost want to look and see how far up the table I can go. That way I can hit that first shot with a little more commitment on the stroke a lot of times. You're not going to lose the object ball there. You set up thin so you could cut it a little bit so you don't lose the object ball where it crosses over or gets in front of your opponent's pocket, something like that. So you could see he could have gone,
really good stroke from Fedor right there, to stun that ball all the way across table.
Yeah, he's almost got to shoot the 9. But even here, look how, don't try to get absolutely perfect, right? That makes the 9 more missable. No, you can come up above the ball a little bit. Gives you a little more comfort pocketing the 9. And now playing for 1.
Well, this is just what the doctor ordered for Fedor Gorst. He's on a 2-game win here and has the break to try to get to 3. Looks like Tony's going to step out for a quick break, so we're going to do the same thing here. I want to give a call out to our sponsors while we have the opportunity. Digital Pool, who's providing the scoreboard that you see now, doing a lot of great things. I know they're out at the Super Expo right now, so make sure you say hey to those guys. Thank all of these sponsors when you see them. Definitely make things like this possible. Wouldn't be possible without them. Diamond Billiard Products, playing on a 9-foot diamond pro-am table here. And Fort Worth Billiard Superstore, always have great things going on. I know Jeremy spent some time there teaching, and Q Supplies, anything you need, make sure you hit them up. So super thankful to all of our sponsors for being involved. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with you shortly. Stay tuned.